My name is Helene Engler, and I am the science writer for the Explorer's Guide to Biology at the Science Communication Lab. I used to be a butterfly biologist and teach undergraduate college biology. And my entire background in research, in teaching, in science education, and also in journalism have prepared me really well for my role as a science writer. I am from Long Island, New York, and I grew up in a beach town called Massapequa. And I didn't grow up in a sciencey family. I didn't do a lot of hiking and collecting butterflies and chasing insects like some of my colleagues. That came later. But I grew up in a beautiful place with natural preserves and parks, and I had a wonderful childhood. I don't think I was born a scientist like a lot of scientists feel. If anything, I was born a dancer because I've been dancing through life since I was 5 years old. I was a really shy kid, and science came really late to me in life. I did have a third grade teacher that told my mom that she thought, Helene's gonna be a scientist. So maybe she planted the seed or saw something that I didn't. I got really interested in science during high school. I remember being really good in biology and chemistry, and I remember excelling in those subjects. And I think for me, science was a choice. I think that I chose to become a scientist because it was kind of a refuge for me. I think it was a way for me to find a way to understand the world that wasn't always easy or normal. And it gave me a dream and a passion. So I actually went to Adelphi University. I got a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and everybody who was a biology major was pre-med. And I don't know, that idea just didn't settle right with me. I wanted to be different maybe, but I think I became a scientist when the summer of my junior year, I took a field course in primate ecology and conservation in Costa Rica through the School for Field Studies. And it was there that I met Mary Baker, one of the assistant professors on the course. And she was documenting for the first time something called fur washing behavior in capuchin monkeys. They would get to this citrus grove, they take the fruits, bite them open, and rub them like crazy all over each other, like in a fur bathing frenzy. And they did this right before they moved into a riparian river-based habitat where there were lots of insects and parasites. So this just blew my mind. Here the monkeys were self-medicating. They were using the citronella juices to repel insects and parasites. And that was the moment. I went back to Adelphi and I told my advisor I was going to become a scientist. And I got interested in the field of chemical ecology, which is how chemicals influence interactions between animals and plants. Then I moved to Austin and did a PhD in biology, studying how butterflies overcome cyanide poisons in their host plants. And then I did a postdoc at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and I was studying the role of aloe plant sugars and how they can possibly prevent skin cancer. So the greatest thing about my job is I get to wear multiple hats. I get to not only write great, college education curriculum that hopefully will inspire the next generation of students, but also I get to interview really cool scientists and document the real stories of how science is done. And hopefully we are creating curriculum that will not only inspire students, but maybe show students that anybody can go into science, regardless of your background, regardless of whether you grew up collecting bugs or dancing. Anybody can become a scientist.